From sports to culture, mental health to economics, politics, relationships, and life issues.
Sit down and catch up with Aaron 868 and Ricardo Mitchell as we have casual conversations on serious topics.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
It is now a minute or two after 6 p.m. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the True Nation Station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are.
Culture crazy.
All right, I can get replaced. Yeah, man. First and foremost, must kick it off as we always do, at least in the way that I was trained. Kudos to the one who is not here right now. He's a fairly decent teacher, but must give thanks and praise to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and allowing us to see another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Right. I know we're kicking it off the way that I do. Right. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we rejoice and are glad in it. This is the shift, the program, the opportunity He has given us.
Yeah, man.
Man. Yeah, we well praise up for this one.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a notable absence in the living room this evening. And yeah, absence is just the word. It's not like there's a void or anything, because we have with us, I let it already this week, man, real bad. Like real bad. But yeah, here with, let me let him do his own intro.
Yes, I know you would be expecting it because the recent weeks have been great, and we were speaking about me returning. It's none other than Joash Webb with my web of influence connecting you to the source. So today would obviously be a great episode. We're going to be continuing to build on what has been happening over the years and recent times, weeks.
Yeah, trust, this is going to be wild. And for those of you who might be tuning in and wondering, well, Aaron lose real weight, but no, Aaron is currently celebrating a number of things in his life, and as is his desire to make sure that there's always continuity and succession planning. And the same way he brought me into the program, I drafted in Joash because Joash knows a lot about a lot, and he's a pretty good speaker. He has a heart after people in the country. So don't be too surprised to see more and more of Joash, probably covering for me, covering for Aaron, and seeing where the living room goes.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, Aaron having to celebrate a lot of things. He's a man that does a lot of things as well. And you mentioned me knowing a lot of things, a man that knows a lot of things. So we have to be thankful for Aaron and what he does and his contribution to Trinidad and Tobago and just life on a whole.
Yeah, man. So on that note, I want to extend early birthday greetings. Aaron, God bless you, and God bless Trinidad for having an era.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see what comes of what you decide to do. I'm saying that very deliberately because I keep saying it, Joash. When I build a cabinet or when I look to present myself or people for leadership, there are people that I already have in mind.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't have political aspirations, but I do recognize that I am in the next generation of elders.
Yeah.
So I have to be responsible. I can't just wait until 5, 10, 15 years down the road to realize wait.
No. And then that's what you have to be thinking way ahead, because there's not one person you need in terms of like building a team.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be intentional about the people you build with from even now, because these are the people you'd have to depend on. You learn who you could trust, who's loyal. Is have different skills you wouldn't really get overnight.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I take mentorship, and having been mentored by somebody greats. And it's not just in terms of the elders who've mentored me, but peer mentorship is a huge deal as well. Right? Aaron is younger than I am by a couple of years, but he had more experience in our space. And when he brought me in, he was able to teach me a lot. Admittedly, you come in to a new space and you have fresh ideas, but Sometimes it's take your time, it's settle, land, catch your bearings, and then find ways to meaningfully contribute. And I always had ideas for what the space could have been, but I also had to learn the culture. I also had to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
You know? And I have been blessed to be in different seasons of transition and to help people navigate transitions. And it's always amazing that no matter how high you are up the totem pole in some spaces,
When you enter some spaces, yeah, the bottom. Yeah.
that is wild.
And that is like life, you know. I don't know why this comes to mind, but the circle of life. Because I was listening to that song earlier. However, you might be president in one country, and then you have to submit to world leaders in different regional organizations. There's always some level of submission that would be required of you, even if you think you're the most powerful person in the world. You still have people to answer to.
Yeah, man. Especially if you function within a system. You know, you're right. I love that example that you could be the most important person in your country, and out of the 190 or 200 plus countries, depending on who you listen to, you end up in a conference and you realize that you are suddenly a very small fish in a large pond. And even if you're a large fish in a large pond, you're still subject to the space that you're functioning in.
Yep.
And not only that too, no matter how big you get, most of us still have to do certain things the way everybody else does do them.
Yeah.
Right? It's tying your shoes, using the bathroom. Yeah, you might have people to help you, but we still only human. You know, so it's a healthy reminder that even as we grow into spaces and as we go into new spaces, to carry humility with you.
Correct.
Yeah, I had some learning experiences, and big up Kenny. He's a very, very interesting teacher. When you're dealing with broadcast, when you're dealing with live events, when you're dealing with on air, so many things always happening behind the scenes that sometimes when nothing going wrong, you just get a little nervous because it's like, this ship running too smooth, you know, or this event running too.
I was thinking about something like that just now, a little moment ago, like something little off here. Because by now, Iran and I probably arguing about something.
Yeah. And it's good that we get to experience this dynamic, because I think we might have done something remotely before, but even in terms of recording just the two of us, being in your physical space changes dynamics, huh?
Yeah.
You could be how good online, you could be how good remotely, you could be how good in training, but the actual execution in real time is a whole other story.
Yep. Like, even like talking about school, online school is different to school when you're in person, and even work. You said, everything I think about just coming up. Today I was thinking about, you can be working remotely, right? You'd say, all right, your job 10 times easier because you don't have them workers in your space. But depending on where you're living, if you're living with your parents, it comes like you have 2 jobs now.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have things to do. Because they don't understand anything about working remotely or you're working online. You are here, and I need something done.
Parents and children are the exact same when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because for people who have kids, mommy's working, daddy's working, the door locked, that don't matter. You are present, you should be available.
Yeah.
Okay. And your parents will call you while you're in the middle of something. You in a meeting and they're asking you about hanging up clothes or taking something out of the fridge, and you're like, this is I have work to do. Yeah. And as you so rightfully said, that's a circular life, you know, because you're a child, you have to look up to your elders. You become an adult, right? You have to take care of children. You get older, and now the children that you were taking care of have to take care of you. Right? You go into a place, you work your way up to the ranks, you're the top shutter, And then you have to retire. And now that when you retire, you move into a space where you don't have the authority, you don't have the power that you've gotten accustomed to. Nobody worrying about who you were in the place that you're not anymore.
Yeah.
So even adjusting to those things, we really have to be subject to renewing our minds.
Correct. And because the spaces change frequently.
Yeah.
And you have to manage who you are at the same time. You have a personality, you have gifts, you have standards, so ideologies that you stand with. But as you enter different spaces, you have to learn how to navigate that. Because you'd meet people you don't know, and some you may know, but you have to learn them as well, and how to you learn and grow with people.
Yeah. While you talking there, just hit me. A couple weeks ago, there were people who were at the top of the food chain because they're in charge of security for the World Cup, or they have functions that made them very important for the thing they were in.
Yeah.
Right? People blowing up the phone. Hey, you still have tickets? Let's say we have the CPL coming up, right?
Yeah.
People who might have links. Somebody who might be able to organize or have access to a list or a booth or something like that. And somebody who, tell you what time certain things happening to the gathered park. You don't have connections.
Yeah. For this particular project.
Right. So you are the you are the
Just things and sliced bread.
Yeah. And then the event is over. And the same people who are blowing up, trying to get at you, they don't have that particular need.
Now here's an slice. Yeah, now here's an slice. They don't need you. They don't want you. You're there now.
You're there.
But
and that's part of what we have to recognize as people, as human beings. And I'm going on this particular road for a reason. There are things that are associated with your role and your function that we start thinking associated with the person.
mm-hmm.
And that is, there was this, what do you call it, the styrofoam paradox or something like that. And when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this makes sense. So you're the president of a country, you're flying first class, when you're the body on the plane or you're in your private jet or whatnot, and they come and they serve you the tea in this fancy, your coffee in this fancy cup with a saucer and a wet towel, and people asking if you're okay. And then after your term is over, or if you're a CEO of a company, you get fired, you get replaced, you retire or whatnot, you go into the airport, you have a private jet. And that wasn't for you.
Yeah, and for some people, you don't have personal security anymore.
What? No, pump your own gas, make your own groceries. Right? And then when you go on the plane and you ask for a cup of coffee, they're not bringing it in fancy China with a saucer and a wet towel, and you're getting it in, oh look at that, there's a cup, there's a
tree in one.
yeah. And 3 in 1 and a water cooler.
Yeah.
So 3 in 1. Anyway, no brand's paying for this program. We ain't gonna big up any of them. But I had one the other day that was interesting. I don't particularly fancy 3 in 1s.
Yeah, it has never been the right mix, but it's just something
And caffeinated.
something that could cover you in a sense.
Yeah.
If you need it, you'll feel like you get something.
Yeah. Anyway, we got Poland. And that's the thing. So you get accustomed to our treatment, and then you move on from the space. So the space moves on from you, and you have to adjust to not having all the perks that you had.
Yeah.
That is tough for a lot of people, and we've seen some Karens and some Karenish behaviors from people who's struggling with the fact that they're out of season.
Yeah. Well, honestly, with skill jobs, that is sometimes the case. Like when you're into art, videography. Because videography right now kind of, in a sense, booming, but they don't have time, slow moments, or projects. Seasons like Christmas, Carnival. These are times that they get work, and sometimes people have higher prices. And so you might start doing this during those high times. And when you reach them low times, they have nothing. And you learn how to spend during them high times too.
Yeah.
And now in them low times, you have no money because you didn't prepare to not have an income.
I don't know if all you noticed when we switched from talking about personal matters to talking about things on a national scale. But that is the season we're in right now. That we did not prepare for no or low income. Right?
True.
It is wild when you look at the budgets that we had the past 20 years. What did we do with the amount of money that we spent? Right.
I wish.
And not only that, too, when I look back sometimes at your slip at the end of the year, and you're like, that's how much I worked for this year? When that happened, and where it gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it that we work for going to be used to be paying things that
I sure
responsible
I
for,
am
but-
not entirely proud of the way I spent all the money I would have earned in my lifetime. Could have been way ahead, but at the same time I've learned from those different instances, still learning.
Yeah.
And it really, when you look back at it, it all falls back on planning. I'm glad I could say that now because somebody might need to hear it now.
Yeah.
When you're able to say, okay, this is how much I am earning right now and how much I plan to earn over the next year or two, and start putting things in place. If money doesn't have an end, it will disappear. Like, whether the end is savings or investing or to buy something,
Yeah.
you should have a plan on where that money is directed. Whether it's tied, because if you don't have a plan for it, the money would find somewhere to go.
It evaporates.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that's the talk. Right? If you don't put the water in the tank, it'll evaporate. And I'm hearing you talking about this in your 20s, and I'm real glad to hear it because it was not until I was in my 30s that landed. And to be frank with you, 10 years of bad spending is a lot of bad spending. And I mean, yes, the culture was different, the times were different, I was different, my life was different, but oh boy, if any youths who happen to come across this information, don't feel as you have to get old to get sense. Eh?
No.
Like, all jokes to the side, people try to tell you things and you don't really get it until after.
Yeah. I hear a young man say he younger than me by 2 years, 3 years, that his family have a gift to save him. And only when he learned of that, he decided to embrace it and start practicing. That was very encouraging to me because I was like, yeah, but some young people have sense. Because you might just be like, well, my family have money,
Right.
so I gonna live my life and just do whatever I want. But yes, you can live your life, but there are good things that people do around you that you can learn from. You are benefiting from people, those that went before us. Learn from the good, reject the bad, and you can make a better future for young people all the way.
There you go. I'm mad at you. I mean, even as a child, I wasn't exactly young. Eh? I was one of the old babies.
I feel like I was an old man too. Like among young people,
Yeah.
I was an old man, but James does always tell me I was an old man.
I think I was a grumpy baby and all. It's good to hear you say that as well. And so here you're talking about young people because in my mind is like, Josh is a youth though, right? But the catch is now, you seeing youth coming up after you,
Yeah.
right? The closer, the less boxes I have to choose from in terms of age. Because you still choosing lower on the scale, I is choosing higher now. You realize that time changes, the world changes, and some people are doing really well at keeping up with the changes. I to say stuff like this and people don't understand it, but Kenny Phillips, for his age, right, the appreciation and control he has over technology and technological shifts, that actually jolted me out of a complacency I didn't realize I got into. Right, this is a man who's considerably older than I am, and he's doing things and he has a knowledge of equipment, software. Now, yes, he's a technophile, right? Yeah, he's a technophile. This man breeds like technology.
Yeah.
He's bad with it. Also to the side, he's bad with it. But he's also a creative, so he's deal with people that kind of way too. He's read a room, no vibes on. But seeing this man embrace and run after technology and then say things like, I have to control technology can't control me. And then I sit down here thinking, if I'm moving like this in my 40s, what mindset would I have when I hit 60s? What mindset would I hit when it's like, get it together?
Yeah.
Right, so that jump started me. So you're right. You learn from the good.
Yes. And the thing is, older folks, I think this is why I became quote unquote an old man, because of wisdom. Always wanting to have wisdom, and understanding that older persons will have a level of wisdom that us in the younger generation may not have, because simply by one experience, but experience doesn't mean wisdom, but they would have been exposed to a lot more. You don't always learn from the good someone do. They may have made mistakes, and you would learn from their mistakes, from their stories. You might say, well, I know what I don't want to do.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or you know what you want to do based on what they do. So I always kind of try to hear more from others. And I think I've seen it work for me in some areas. But at the same time, you have to remain very relevant to your generation and be able to balance the both.
Big up Zoom. You say relevant to your generation. And Brendan James, like this guy is, well, I hold him in very, very high esteem. He told me years ago, he was like, Ricardo, boy, he's like, your wise, you have a way, but if you can't connect with people, if people can't understand where you're coming from, right? If you can't relate to you, right? You ain't gonna really be able to do anything with it, man. True. And that's what I realized. I had to learn how to balance the righteousness with the ratchet. Right? I had to become sophisticated. Right? You're right, you have to be relevant to your generation. It don't make sense having all of this insight, foresight, hindsight, right? Wisdom. You understand concepts and seeing things in a way other people not seeing, and you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, because young people don't like to listen to old people. So if you just become an old man, you see as an old man, come on, let's be real. Sometimes I just be like, I don't understand. Sometimes you don't understand. There's a barrier. We've been brought up a different way.
Yeah.
So based on what we see, we may be coming to some conclusions and decisions, but being told to do different. So sometimes you need a revelation to come, and that revelation don't come by repetition. They come just by, hey, do this. No, you need to learn how to translate that into something that is digestible or understandable for someone in today's age.
Man, you were saying that there, and you're right. Repetition, especially for a reality that don't exist for the generation that coming through it don't make sense. So what you need to be able to do, right, to actually have change, to be relevant, not just in your generation, but to the generation coming after, is to be able to take the lessons from your generation and help them discover what works in their generation.
Yeah, because there are things that never existed in the past that is there today.
Yeah.
And the youths know how to navigate around it better, so they'd feel like you can't tell me what to do. You don't even know how to do this.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to open a new Facebook profile. You're telling me what I should post, or who's seeing.
Right.
You have no knowledge in this field, but advising me what I should do.
Yeah, it's really wild when you think about it, Hey, I think I get locked on my account, or how you just upload this picture, or who's just messaged me here, and then what to turn around and tell you, hey, you shouldn't be posting things like that.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be on TikTok.
Yeah. And the thing is, the principles that it's speaking from are sound principles, but we have to look at the ways that they're being applied, because the environments are changing.
Yeah.
And okay, case in point, we people tend to overcorrect. So you know what will happen? This isn't working, so we go to the complete other side of the thing. I remember going to school. You could have grown your hair, right? But you couldn't cane roll, you couldn't plaques, you couldn't box twist, them kinds of things. As a young man going to school, you couldn't do those things. There are certain gentlemen that when the flow reaches a certain height, they dig in a hurls with the flow. However, you see in other people, hair are messing one and a half, pulling it back in one, and like, so wait, why some hair could be long and other hair can't be long, and those types of things. Yeah, colonialism are looking at you, right? And then they
Make some
adjustments. And they might have some overcorrection too, right? Because now,
I don't think I fully understand.
what the overcorrection aspect?
Yeah, because
Here the catch. Yes, now you're allowed hairstyles that reflect your
equality basically. Everybody could.
everybody can.
Yeah.
There are expressions of individuality that kind of compromising uniformity or representation.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
So maybe across the board, there should be some level of discipline where a standard, so that you could set discipline. This is what we allow. This is what we don't allow. Your hair can be long, but these are the styles that we use.
And the overcorrection usually comes in calibrating the thing. So you know what? It didn't have it before. We had to build it. So we had to set one limit, a next limit, and then find the space in between where it does work.
Yeah. As a society, there is something that happens, especially even up. It might even be like, like they might say crime high, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, let them do other one when they realize that they're killing all those people will start to live a little different. Or in economics, you might say, if the price is going up, leave them, don't do anything about it. Things will get hard, and then the people will stop buying the goods, and when people stop buying the goods, they'll drop the prices, and things will be back to normal. To some extent, that works, but to a huge extent, it hurts everybody way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is now. Yes, I'm gonna quote Aaron. Now it might seem like we're talking all over the place, but it's not that. We're talking about some principles here that impacting the way that one generation deals with things and the way that it impacts the generation coming behind them. So, case in point, what you just talked about there is regulation, right? When you cannot self-regulate, right, you end up with abuses or failings, right? There's either too much of something or not enough of something else. So you create some kind of standard that you want to function within. But within that standard of function, you also have rights and responsibilities.
Yeah.
So you can, but it don't mean that it don't have a consequence. You can play by the rules that society agree to, or you're penalized for not.
Yeah, and if it had different aspects, and if you think about, like, we talk about here, we talk about prices. If you even look at the simple thing of time.
Yeah.
You have a certain time to go to school. You have a certain time to reach to work. You have a certain time to attend appointments, doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
As long as you have meetings and you're functioning in life, time is something that's important. So it's important for each individual to respect that and learn to use it. But it's something that we as Trinis have decided, it's something called Trini time, so we could do whatever we want. Which we say 10 o'clock and we can reach 11 o'clock, and I should understand.
You're bad. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not know this is happening, but this is one of the best segues in the history of the living room, eh? You're Joash, you're bad.
Yeah.
Tell a little bit about Trini time, Joash.
Yeah, and I was scrolling on Instagram yesterday, and I see a BBC Sports post where a fighter would have won a match, and he was sad, supposedly, because he didn't get a fight, and he won over a Trinidadian because that fighter, Anthony Joseph, was late. The post was quite interesting. I had a lot of comments, but for me, my first thought was a joke, eh?
Yeah.
But seriously, so they did not count for Trini time? And why that even come in my head? What is Trini time, and why is Trini time something that we have made important to us?
Yeah. I I want to touch on that. In the absence of the fighter's side of the story, I don't want to come to a conclusion, but that don't mean that I can't examine it, right?
Sure.
So, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
A functioning athlete and you function in athletic spaces. I want people who don't know or who may have forgotten to consider something. This young man did not miss his call time. His team missed the call time. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you go to a concert, the person who comes out on stage to sing and to dance, they are not the person responsible for lighting, scheduling, audio, right? But logistics in terms of the way the fete layout and where the cafeteria set up. They are not responsible for that. They don't do the own hair when most established, right?
Yeah.
They don't do the own hair, they don't do the own makeup, etc. They have a team that is responsible for what they are responsible for so that the performer could focus on what the performer's specialty is.
Yeah.
Right? An athlete, a runner, you show up and you go through your warm-ups, right? You don't sit down. Somebody makes sure
There's a team manager.
a team manager, a equipment manager to make sure that everybody's uniforms there and sizes and that they're clean. People have responsibilities in each athlete's camp.
Yeah.
If this young man missed his time, this is not purely, we cannot say for certain because we don't know.
Yep.
It might be entirely up to him. However, where was his representation? Where was his camp? What did they do or not do that allowed for him to miss his fight? Especially when you consider a fight, oh my gosh, you normally hours before a call time, hours before an event, you on site. Doctor, help me here.
And I've never missed a fight as an athlete, but I've been limited or constrained to not finishing a fight. About 15 seconds into a fight, probably about 20 seconds into a fight, I broke my hand and leading. It was the sickest feeling for them to tell me, hey, you go in the ambulance, you can no longer can come. I felt like I could have competed.
Yeah.
And Anthony Joseph reached, just based on the time he reached, they didn't allow him to enter the.
Yeah.
So I could kind of identify with him and relate. And it's years of training. It's not just that season you're training. It's years. Everything you did before was for this very moment. Preparation, mental preparation, your mind, spiritual preparation.
Yeah.
Everything is all in on this moment and then it's taken away. So I do feel sorry for him. I feel genuinely sorry for him. But there's another side of it that we must also consider because this is our athletes.
Yeah.
He's representing us. This is our team, right? Money's invested.
Yes. There would have been sponsors. There would have been well-wishers. People.
Also taxpayers.
Right.
In terms of the government. I don't know the entire situation for this particular group, but I know that usually the government would accommodates at whether it's airfare and different things with regards to these national teams going out. So we have a collective responsibility as well to try and help the team improve. Whether it is we discover that there's a situation or someone on the team that is continuously late. Yeah, it's just a hypothetical thing.
Yeah.
This is something that we shouldn't allow to remain. It's a situation that should be fixed.
No matter how talented they are or what they're contributing to the team, they also are a threat to the team's performance.
Yeah. And it's something serious because I saw under the comments someone mentioned, I made a joke under the BBC thing, but someone mentioned that, this is something serious. We Chinese like to laugh at everything because this is not the first time something like this happened in the sporting sphere. It might be a football game, the whole team late.
Yeah.
And not all the time is the athlete's fault, but it's somebody's fault. And most times it's a trainee.
Yeah, it is a poor reflection on our culture. We've had cases of international competitions, cricket and football and things, started hours late because, the boss stuck in traffic coming on the highway or something, and it's like,
I think it is the lack of, again, planning or contingency plans and stuff. You need to start to make things. I fall guilty to this at sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm able to move on the fly, but having contingency plans can carry you a long way.
yeah, scenario planning is important in a bigger plan. I call plan, but Bernard also talks about contingency planning as well too. And I realize that there are minds that are structured a particular way. And we need to actually get these minds involved in some of these processes, because sometimes having experience as a performer does not necessarily mean that you'll be good at managing or leading.
Correct.
You might have played football for 25 years. That does not mean that you will be a good coach or trainer or
I must say something. Think of like Xabi Alonso, coaching Real Madrid, and then after get fired quick. But that's just a joke. I honestly think he's a good manager, but it didn't work out then.
yeah.
So,
I mean, everybody could be the real job, you know.
yeah. One Xabi, never two.
And you're right. I'm disappointed for the young man. However, I am reminded of Casey Crawford's experience, where in the first finals he pulled up with a hamstring.
Surprised you know about that?
Hey, I don't even know, you know. I know some pretty big deals, including Casey Crawford's nephew, big up Sean C. That dog. He's been on the panel and thing before. And I saw him post the video. So that's how but social media is not all about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize Sean C was Casey Crawford's nephew, which is kind of wild. And when you see the faces and the structures and things, it's like, oh wow, that really makes sense. But anyway, yeah.
No, but you didn't finish making the point in terms of him pulling up.
Yeah, he pulled up with a hamstring injury and had to train.
Oh, you mean in terms of the disappointment?
Yeah,
leading up to things.
It wasn't the end of his journey.
Yeah, it's not the end. So in one way, you learn and you grow. That probably was the reason why he had an extra drive to push.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not your time. I remember, hey, Ras Commander, you're bad, you know. I remember Ras Commander saying at a point in time, we as a people, we function from a space of in spite of and not because of. People succeed in Trinidad in spite of what the environments and the systems in place. But we're terrible. Well, he didn't say we're terrible. I said we're terrible. Because, and I really used to be one of those people who didn't pay any mind to it. But Raz make a statement. He said, you know what it is take to come last on the Olympic stage? You know what it does take to finish 8th in our finals? When you really think about it, we might see somebody pull up, somebody doing hurdles and then tripping over every single one. You know what that person's life was to get them to that space? The sacrifice that they would have to put in, the resources people would have poured into, the relationships that would have suffered. They're prioritizing this thing to represent your country or your club colors, right? And you going up against the best in the world, 8 billion people, and you finish 10th out of the 10 fastest runners in the world that year. And people gonna be like, nah.
Not just people. There's our next thing about Trinis in terms of the way we treat our athletes, so respect them. It's like we expect the best, we're not supporting in terms of tangible items. We'd watch it if they win and we see somebody post it. But quick to bring down some of our athletes, and I really have a little pet peeve for that, especially with people who don't follow or invest in the sport. So I wish that we as a society would be a little more invested in our future heroes, the young ones that are coming up.
You know what, Josh? When you're the Minister of Sports, right, you're gonna implement something here. If you don't have a ticket stub, You're not allowed to complain.
You know what we could do?
Mhm.
To just give an idea. So like Barcelona, different big clubs might have memberships or
Socios, yeah.
yeah. So we can kind of do a sports system, well, a kind of membership thing where everybody invests in a direct fund that kind of supports our athletes. That's a real good idea.
Yeah. And what we need is people with integrity to manage it, because, sports and finances get tricky in Trinidad now. Trying to very, very hard to keep a straight face here.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to keep a straight face. So much so that people involved in sports and finances get pulled off panels where they were going to speak. I'm just saying we have to be mindful. Right? According to the Lord Kitchener, right? In his song, the camera is on you. The world is watching us. This is not the 80s and the 70s and the 60s again, where things happening in little pockets of the world and nobody knowing.
And in Trinidad, we just forget in Trinidad. But then when you leave and you go outside,
People don't forget.
them don't forget.
They don't forget. Right? People don't forget. So, and the reason I say that is because we might have a 9-day memory. The internet does not forget. And not only that too, the axe might not remember, but the tree never forgets. So there are people who have been victim to some mediocrity or inadequacy or outright maliciousness that you just do and go about your way, and they will mark that. They hold on to that, the barrier for a football match that costs a team a trophy. You're not going to remember that one match that you ref out of how many, but that team going to remember that ref. Correct? Right? So accountability is a thing, integrity is a thing. So you're right, we might be able to start a crowdsource and public fund things again. And we just had to do it with a robust enough system that it could withstand scrutiny and also sticky fingers.
Yes, but I find we can have the idea. We can build on it. Again, it's true that in Trinidad we have had a lot of issues with regards to sport and administration. Plenty times administration is where we fall because there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, the talent is there.
But we had to have the faith, because if we just stay away from it, we'd never learn. Again, yes, you talk about the athletes falling. The administrators would make mistakes too, and you could only get better if you get up and you try again and you try again and you try again. We as a society have to hold them accountable, and if somebody does something wrong, we they face the consequences, but we keep pushing forward. We don't close our minds to the idea of improvement or doing big things, because we'd always remain small if we kind of shy away from the big things because of what happened every time we tried big things.
I just remembered something, and it's a weird time to remember it, right? But we didn't thank Tony Prescott for holding it down, for the shift before us. And because I just realized too, the P this week, we didn't come up with a P this week and what it stands for. So I big up you, Tony Prescott, because the man as well is kind of bring our vibes and I had a G2. And there was one thing I've come to appreciate about Tony. Like anybody else, he mightn't be everybody cup of tea, but he know what tea he like, and people know what tea he like too. He's a straight shooter when it comes to that now.
Yeah.
So they asks some questions. He would look at something and go, wait, why does it work though?
So the P this week stands for precision.
P this week is for precision.
And a question is something to get somebody else to think and to reveal a point. A question can answer so many things.
Yeah.
Even if the question wasn't answered.
Yeah. He's a man. He looks at things. You don't see the plate and start eating. He's a man who sit down and
You asked me a question Sunday. And it wasn't really necessary, but I don't know directed to me. It was like a rhetorical question. It said, like, Joash, you sure about anything?
Yeah.
And that question had me thinking. It had things I'm sure about. It had things I'm sure about, but it had plenty of things I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
So, but at that moment, I started thinking about the things I'm not sure about.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I have to be sure about this, But that's what a question does.
A question, yeah. Yeah, I read that because trust me, I had no idea why there's an archetype. But you're right. There have plenty of people out there who okay with just going along with what is. Some people aren't. And we have to stop fighting on the people who not okay with things. Because the people who not okay with things, people who ask questions, they are the people who change the world. They are the people who change the world. Some of them will steal other people's ideas. I'm not going to call any names to upset any body, but at the end of the day, the light bulb, right? Treating dairy, things like penicillin, things come out of a question. Inventions, advancements come out of a. So why can't we? How come we never? You don't feel we should, and we need to stop fighting the artists. We need to stop fighting on people asking questions. Questions are important.
Correct.
Questions are important. I was looking at a plane flying overhead the other day, and it really just occurred to me. You know, if we were to try to solve problems with the answers that we think would work, we would be wrong the majority of the time. Now, bear with me, let me show you where I get hit. Just the way that an airplane is shaped. Right? If you were to design something, they have no airplanes in the world, no hot air balloons, nothing like that. If you were to design something that could fly, that is not the first shape you would pick.
Yeah. The first thing I would think about is something like a car that could fly.
Right? You know why? You know, I'm looking at it in nature inspired. A bird? Oh, what kind of plane shaped it? A plane kind of shaped like a bird, yes. But here to catch a bird aren't even things that fly. You might have tried to design something that looks like a bee, right? Or a dragonfly. Or, you know, a cockroach. What I mean is, the idea that we have to solve the problem is not usually the solution. So what we can do is ridicule people for trying things because that brings us closer
To the actual. It helps us to learn one,
Yeah.
and brings us closer to solving the problem.
Right. So I'm saying that to say this. We have a situation where a Louisiana state football team beat our national team in a friendly.
Yeah.
Somebody has to ask the question, how did we go from Soca Warriors and beating Bahrain and what I mean,
We beat USA the other day and also prevent them from going to the World Cup.
how did we get here? And where are we going? And we have to be able to ask and answer those questions without deflecting, without trying to pass blame. Let's not look at blame and let's look at responsibilities and inadequacies so that in 2030, we are not 135th in the world. And somebody who was 135th up in the 40s because they actually looked at where the plan was and see why it wasn't working.
I agree with you, and I'm glad you brought up the question because maybe some people don't even know that Trinidad and Tobago had a friendly this week against Louisiana. And Louisiana, I think, plays in the USL, if I'm not wrong, which is like second division football in America, against our national team, our head coach, and some players that are regulars and some new players. I wouldn't say some regulars. Some of them kind of come in sometimes and miss.
Yeah.
When I looked at the result immediately, I was like, nah, I felt a little sick. Like, yo, we really go on there and lose to them.
Right.
But I also had a little grace with the team because one is in season. If they're on that team there, it's because, well, at least in America, your team isn't playing. So people like who scored this weekend, Spicer. He's a Trinidad and Tobago national team player. He's one of our best. He plays in America, but he's in season, so he wasn't with our national team.
Right.
There's people like Levi Garcia, people like Andre Raymond. They are in their preseason preparing to their major season right now. So a lot of our major stars are not on the team, and we use this moment to carry a weakened group, which might be widening the pool, strengthening the pool, against another team that is preparing to head into their
This
season.
season, yeah.
So they're at a stronger point. I think this gives us the ability, if the intention is to continue working to develop a system, and if the coach changes people continuously, whoever he has at that moment,
Yeah.
keep working with Trinidadian footballers, we could become like a Spain, because the idea is not about trying to get the best 30 people each
Best
time,
technical
but we're
30.
trying to develop a system that everybody learns and become good at, and then you know, okay, this is how we want to play, and these are the 30 people that add the best value to us performing in this particular direction.
So the talent plays to the system as opposed to building systems around the talent.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you used the phrase, the word develop, because as bad as it might look to lose to a club team, if there was developmental value in the match, players who normally wouldn't have gotten a call as a national, or people who get the opportunity to showcase what they can do. And to all jokes aside, to play football for 90 minutes and 1 goal score means either some pretty good or some pretty bad football play.
Yeah.
One of the two ways, right? And we do underestimate a country that has 300 million people playing a second division or third division club team in a country with 300 million people. That ain't no small.
And if you're talking food on the table, at least in terms of their earnings from football,
Yeah.
even in the US, that's a professional league. A lot of the people on our team sometimes playing in a league that isn't professional, it's semi-professional, you know?
Yeah. Right. So let's not way boy, and let me move a little bit past how we feel about things and start thinking about the things. It is important for us to advance because sports are important.
Yeah.
Sports matter, and it's not just gateways out of the hood that you get to and aversions to crime and those kinds of things. Once people invested in something, they're less likely to end up in other forms of trouble. Not saying that these things don't have their own kinds of trouble, but sports are important because they unify people around things that are outside of the normal tribes.
Yeah.
Right? People will be united over, despite different ethnicities, despite different classes, financially, despite different occupations. You'll be amazed at the ways people could find to divide this up, right? Even in our office, or in our workplace, you'll find admin does move a kind of way, and operations does move a different way, or engineering might be one way, and the janitorial team. Like, people find ways to be cliques, but then you get sports, which brings everybody together around something else.
Yeah, and like for that very same reason, sometimes sports is a very good tool to utilize in workspaces when you want to do team development and you want to help people to grow connections across the board. So like where I used to work in the past in a call center at that point in time, that was one of the things we do. We play a little cricket, we got some table tennis, even at a point in time we were doing badminton. But sports created something in that office space whereby connections were made between senior level officials and lower levels, so that nothing else could have done.
Right. Yeah, as I said, that I remember we lobbied for and got a table tennis board back in the day. And when you're within shifts, it's important to have things that could bring the different shifts together, the different departments together. I don't think I appreciated what it was as a social tool at the time. But to go downstairs sometimes and see a supervisor or superintendent with the sleeves roll up, knocking at table tennis against a man in the coveralls. Those things matter.
Yeah. That's good. But talking about something else, I don't know if you realize, last week we spoke about the cricket team, West Indies. And I think it was 3-1 there. I can't remember. But I know we were losing at that point in time, but I see that it ended 3-2.
Yeah.
So big up to West Indies. Yeah, congratulate them for when they're doing good. And right now, they're on to another series.
Yeah, playing Pakistan in a test series. Big up Bawani, a caller, he gave me some scores yesterday. It'll probably be different scores now after the this next day of play.
Yeah.
But we had a 29-run lead over Pakistan at the end of the first innings. And then I think we were at 30 runs for 3 wickets or something, so by tea time. So who knows how it would have gone by now? But yeah.
But it's nice to see cricket play in Trinidad and Tobago, Brian Lara Academy and Cricket Academy, and I see the matches today. Would be at Queens.
Yeah, Queen's Park. Yeah. No CPL games in Lara.
I mean,
I think all the CPL games are already over.
oh, that's something interesting. Wow. That's something.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm waiting for Aaron to come back in to talk about that one.
Yeah.
A feeling, everything. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, it's even.
And the interesting thing is, I saw a video speaking about the Test cricket, and they were like, it's so great that to have Test cricket in Brian Lara cricket, and like I was like, well, so people really like this academy, but usually it's more like T20. They would go there.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
In fact, one of these evenings, I think I want to. I might really be able to go and take in an evening of cricket at the academy. Yeah. I don't think it's too late. So I guess it'll either be it might really be too late for this one, but for the second test. But guys, it's we're perilously close to the hour of 7 p.m. I thank you, listeners, viewers, those of you who stayed on to take in the living room with Ricardo Mitchell and Joash Webb. And Mr. Desmond is up next with the big band. So I know the big band real band. Like all talks aside, Trinidad and Tobago has amazing music. And some of which you can only hear on WAP 9.1 FM. Where we are culture crazy. Mr. Williams should be back with us next week, and then we'll get into the conversation as to what happened and why I probably will not be going to any CPL games this year. I don't know if I bought that over.
That long drive.
There's a track.
And then the whole parking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice experience, you know. I'm just saying, I could have heard cricket from who if it wasn't Brian Lara. Yeah. So, development, sports, fun things and fun times. Now, Josh, any closing remarks? Anything you want to throw to the people?
Last week I talked about us as a nation being unified, side by side we stand. But today I just want to say for us to really help each other, go together. We spoke about our tardiness, our understanding of as young people understanding the older folks, and older folks understanding the younger folks in every aspect. Let us be united and trust and lean on God.
Amen. Guys, this weekend is Emancipation Day. Yeah, so while we might not have spoken about it exclusively, I do want to acknowledge that I believe the work we put in the living room contributes to a greater state of emancipation. That we do take one form of freedom and then end up becoming ensnared and enslaved in a mindset that does not do us any good. So even as simple as it might sound, you have to ask yourself, does Trini time benefit you? Or is it just something that keeping you trapped in a smaller mindset? Yeah? This is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage. Thank you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. Josh?
Yes, I think we can end with that.
Alright. No ever influence. Yeah, you already had one inside for you. Yeah, cool. Appreciate you, man. This 2 chairs thing working, you know. I feel next week we go here and got us along on the floor, the ottoman or something.
It is so long already.
Yeah, you could control the camera. Keep it long. Mr. Desmond is up next to the big band.